We're gonna let it build up, build up. Let's let it build up. We out here on the walk and talk. What's up now? You got it, right. Yeah, we out here walking and talking. Walk and talk. Beautiful Saturday. Invite the low. Puss. Ah. Puss. Bang. That's the boy. Stand. Oh, stand. Yes, sir. That's it. Stand up for the home. Yeah, we're gonna walk and talk. Today's topic is don't take a hard stance. Don't take a hard stance. Taking hard stances can come back and bite you in the buns. All of us that's been around and have taken hard stances have all got a little buns bit. So we got to be careful on the hard stance. As a person with one of my degrees is in history. All right, so one thing about history is it's his story, right? So it's that person's story or that person's recollection or that person's feelings or emotions or whatever it is towards a certain subject or topic. Now, one thing you understand about history is that, you know, a person can come up with their own history. Or depending on how they're feeling, they can try to rewrite a history, right? So you have people that think the Holocaust never happened. You got people that think that slavery wasn't really that bad, you know. You got people that think that, I mean, there's all kind of historical shit that people think that didn't happen or wasn't happening or wasn't as bad. Or so one thing you learn as a historian, because one of my degrees is in history, wouldn't necessarily classify myself as a historian, but I could have went that route if I would just kept going on with it. But one thing you have to do as a historian is a ton of research. And when you do a ton of research, you also got to do research with with those who oppose your position, right? So you can have a position on something, right? You can have a position on slavery or a position on the Holocaust, and you find somebody that says, you know, the Holocaust never did happen. That was bullshit. That was all made up. It was propaganda. You know, Auschwitz and all that just doesn't exist. It's all fake. Even though people go see the fucking place every day, all day, but the place all this stuff just didn't exist. It's all fake, right? History, right? We're just talking history. And then we can relate it to the same thing with dogs, right? So the same thing with dogs. Like if I talk to a certain individual, this person might say, "Oh, this happened and that didn't happen." You talk to this other person, say, "No, no, no, that did happen and this didn't happen." So one of the things you have to do is you have to compile all the information by talking to a whole bunch of different people, and then once you take that information, and you put it together and see whether or not it makes sense to you, right? If not, you can just double down on that information. If it, and then somebody else is gonna come along and say, "Well, your information is incorrect," because that's the information you got from these particular individuals who don't believe in this certain thing happening, right? And so, and then then what happens is right, it's like some people say the Earth isn't round. Now we have people out in space that have photos of the Earth. Clearly, it's round, right? It's not a box, you know what I'm saying? But there's still people that believe that the Earth is not round. You know what I'm saying? You can find people that will stand by it. You can find people that say that smoking cigarettes doesn't cause cancer. It's actually something else that caused it. It's just, you know what I mean? So you can find people that will counteract. You can find people that says that, oh, there's no global warming. There's no issues with the Earth at all. It's just natural Earth patterns that it's just warming, right? You can find these idiots that will say some shit like that, and then if you don't do your own research, right, you're gonna regurgitate the same bullshit, and you're gonna look like a fucking idiot, right? So that's one thing about history that we always have to dig into it, and we've all been a victim of it, and we misspoke and we've said some things that might have been incorrect or some information that wasn't gathered correctly. And so when that happens, what do, right? Well, you can double down on it, or you can just be like, "Hey, man, guys, guess what? I fucked up," or "I just wasn't paying attention," or so on and so forth. So you can actually typically you can own the fuck up, right? Or you can just not own it. But it's always better to try to own it, and then instead of trying like go around it. You know what I'm saying? That's just for anything, right? You have people that'll say, "Oh, all I do is produce." You had these breeders I used to get on their ass a long time ago. They put all the fire emojis on every fucking litter they had, right? So every litter they had a bunch of fire fucking emojis. Every litter they had a bunch of fire fucking emojis, right? So then I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me at 8 weeks, you know that all these dogs are gonna be fired? You're lying, right? Because we know the probability of having a whole litter full of fire ass dogs in any breed is bullshit, right? It's like the probability of a family having a whole family full of fighters is bullshit, right? You might have a few, you know what I'm saying, but a whole family full, that's very rare, right? So the probability that it happens is very slim to none, right? So breeders are just basically they had like the copycat syndrome because other people were doing this, so they felt like, well, that's what I have to do. I have to basically put a fire emoji by this fucking litter. What up now? I gotta put a fire fucking emoji by this goddamn litter, and that'll help me sell it and bullshit. So then when you call the motherfucker out on that stupid ass fire emoji, then they can either double down on, oh yeah, my dog is fired, and I say, okay, well show me the sire and the dam that's fired. I ain't gotta show you shit. I don't have to show you shit. Come over to my house. So my dog's gonna rip your head off and tear your arms off. Oh, okay. So then I say, all right, cool. I'm traveling around. What's your address? I'm gonna pull up. No, I ain't got time today, man. I don't want you over here. I don't fuck with you. Oh, okay. But you just said if I come over there, the dog's gonna do X, Y, and Z. And then I say, well, how about we take the dog? See, now you got all this fire, right? How about we take the dog to the park, right? Off this little territory. You tie it up to the tree. And then let's see it get busy, right? And then motherfuckers, oh man, they come with excuses. I don't fuck with you. I don't fuck with you. Oh, okay. Well, you're talking all that shit about you got all this fire, but when we asked to see the fire in action, now we got excuses. Now we ain't got time today. Now we can't pull up. Now I'm too busy. But you have 15 fucking thousand litters, but now you're too busy to show up to an event to show me all this fire that you're working with, even though we in your backyard, right? So. We got to be careful when people they can either double down on it or they can stop doing it, right? Or they can correct it, right? Correct it, whatever topic it is that they're talking about. And sometimes sometimes we can get fed bad information. Sometimes we can be fed bad information, you know, or somebody else's truth. You know, one person's truth don't have to be everybody's truth. So if you decide to rock with that truth, then that's the truth that you decide to rock with. There's some people that believe. There's some people that believe these motherfuckers got working kennels, and I'm like, you got a working kennel? You had over, you done produced over hundreds of dogs, thousands of dogs. You have one dog with one half of a certificate. Okay, let's say you have two dogs that you produce with one level of certificate of temperament. And then you tell me you're a working kennel? It's unbelievable. And there's so many of these individuals that claim they have working kennels. Oh, I have a working kennel. Oh, you bought a dog that came from a working kennel, and then like a few of those dogs worked in that kennel, and then now you think that you have a working kennel because you bought that dog, but you had done nothing with any of your dogs? You know, it's unbelievable. But see, that becomes their truth, right? And then they get people, foos. And then you get people that, you know, associate with that particular kennel. Then you get individuals that associate with that particular kennel, right? And they say, foos. You get individuals that associate. How you doing? You get individuals that associate with that particular kennel, and then they start to regurgitate the bullshit, right? You start hearing them say, "Oh yeah, no, this is a working kennel." I said, "Bro, get the fuck out of here, bro." No, seriously, I seen the dog doing cattle work. Man, get the fuck out of here. The dog is running from the fucking cattle, bro. What are you talking about? I did no fucking cattle work. But see, what I'm saying is the people start doubling down on it, right? So they double down on the bullshit, right? Because that's what they were fed by one particular person. Come on. And so that's one of the things me myself, I've learned over the years. You know, you got to be open-minded to shit. You got to be open-minded, and you have to do a ton of research, your own research, and not just some one particular person's research. I remember when I first got started in the presses, right? So Sonya Teddy, which is Sonya Teddy, I forgot his fucking kind of name. I'm thinking about so much, but Sonya Teddy was the first dude that kind of latched on to me, right? Because that's what happens when you get into the press again. Like the breeders are trying to latch because they want to try and sell your dog, especially if you don't have a dog yet, so they'll latch on to you. Hey, yeah, you ride with me, you know what I'm saying? So Teddy was like one of them dudes that really was latched on to me, this, that, and the other, sort of say, right? So there's one I was talking to, this, that, and the other. So there was this particular breeder somewhere over in the islands, and I remember him and this other chick was gonna get these out of standard so-called working presses, right? And they spent the bag on it. They sent this, that, and the other. It was like a black and white panda-looking dog, and they just knew that they had hit the jackpot, right? Come to find out, this breeder that was over there was a fraud. You know what I mean? I think the motherfucker, somehow or another, the breeder was a fraud. You know, the shit just went up in smoke. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, they thought he had hit he thought he hit the jackpot. Yeah, we got these working presses. And to come to find out, the breeder was a whole fraud. It was like some rescue shit. Motherfucker was just selling any old thing. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta be careful on who you get information from. This Teddy, Sonya Teddy, and this chick, I forget, I think it was Janine Washington or whatever her name was, Janine something. Uh, they was lock and step, you know what I'm saying? And he just thought he just hit the jackpot. And so you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful on the information that you get, because you can ride with a motherfucker and ride all the way right off the cliff. So, Yeah, don't take hard lines. I would avoid taking a hard line. You know, I would avoid at all costs taking hard lines. It's find the gray area. Like I'm open to this, that, and the other. Don't say, well, this is this and this is that and this is only can be this and this only can be that. Especially when you're dealing with a fucking an island, an island mutski. That's too much, man. It's too much. It's too much bullshit. Because it's everybody's opinion, everybody's this, that, and the other. Other people's truths and shit. So avoid it. Avoid it. If you don't take a hard line, that's why politicians always have that. So, the good politicians be playing all around and shit. They might take a hard line with certain things that's you know with their party. What I'm saying, that's associated with their party, or they can go off the party, right, and take a hard line on something else. I don't fuck with these dudes. I might be a Republican or I might be a Democrat, but I'm not a hard line when it comes to this. I might be open minded to that. I might be like, well, I can see both sides of that. But eventually, you gotta be hard line on something, though. But in politics, but what I'm saying, like in regular human life, you don't necessarily need to be hard line. Keep an open mind, keep an open perspective, and that way, it lessens the chance that people are gonna call you out on certain things, right? So if you say, well, I got a working kennel, then motherfuckers say, well, show us your dog's working. Well, no, I don't have any, but I bought some dogs that were from a kennel that work. Well, that don't mean you have a working kennel. You just buying dogs that come from somewhere else. You ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. You don't get credit for other people's work. You get credit for your work, buddy. Um, you know what I'm saying? So, but if you're a kennel, you say, I produce confident dogs that have the ability, hopefully have the ability to be a good pet or have potential to work. You know what I mean? You're not taking a hard line that says I produce working dogs, like all my dogs work. You say, well, some of my dogs are gonna work. Some of my dogs are super confident and have all the abilities to do certain things. And some of them are just gonna be good pets, right? And sometimes some people just want a good pet. Like, some people don't want all that aggression and all this, that, and the other. And some people just want a good motherfucking pet. Well, how much is the good pet? Oh, the good pet at this price, right? All right, so you got you a good pet. And then I'm going to make sure that there's some documentation that said you bought a good pet, right? Because I don't want you coming back. Come on, back up. Foos. Foos. Come on, make it. There you go. I don't want you coming back later saying, well, this guy sold me a working dog and because he said he has working dogs. No, you bought a pet. And that's what I sold you. So you make sure you have documentation. So I'm not taking a hard line. So if you as a kennel, right, you don't take a hard line on certain things, on majority of things, then people can't call you out on a lot of shit, right? But if you take all these hard lines, and then people can call you out on a lot of shit, and that's what then it becomes, sound bites and clickbaits and all that shit. And so if I was to advise anybody coming into the breeding game and this, that, and the other, I've seen people because I watch all these different lives and I watch all these people, and I've been one that drives people to the brink of destruction on their bullshit because I peep out the bullshit, and then once I peep it out, then I'm gonna call you out and I'm gonna ride you on it, and I'm gonna make sure that we hold to the truth of the matter, right? My truth, your truth, whatever the truth is, but we got to hold somebody's truth to the matter. Right? I see you, honey. Oh, the whole family out here. Okay. All right. I like that. I ain't seen that since COVID. um, yeah, so, taking a hard stand. I remember Jen Chandler came at me, right? Or we always come at each other, but I come at her, she got me on a sneak tip. But anyway, she came in my group and she's like, how you doing? I had called her out about her dog, about producing a Corso head and shit like that, 'cause she was talking shit about somebody else, so I was defending them, really. But, so then she tried to come in my group, was like, oh, your dog is 7 times our Baca. I'm like, okay. Oh, it carries the blue gene. No, I don't. When it had a DNA test, no, I don't carry the blue gene. My dog don't carry the blue gene, but one of your dogs carries DMs. Oh, DM don't matter. Oh, yeah, it does. So then she tried to, well, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't take a hard line. So what she tried to do is take the hard line of, well, DM don't affect presses. I found a scientist, and I found a vet or somebody in Michigan that says, first of all, the research wasn't done on presses. People don't just run around, you know, keeping records of their dogs having uh, hip issues and shit, and they don't advertise it, right? Motherfucker dog go down with a hip issue, they just chalk it up, cry for about 3 weeks, and then move on in life, right? There's no research being done on it, right? Because that's how science, that's how you get statistics. You got to do some research, and people have to come forth with the information. Majority of people ain't gonna do that. Majority of people ain't gonna do that. Yeah, yeah. Majority of people aren't coming forth with no information. They're just gonna live their life and go on about their business. Like, damn, my dog died early, and chalk it up as an L, you know. So, um, and where was I going with the conversation? I got sidetracked. Motherfucker come zooming by me on the e-bike gang. But anyways, the whole oh yeah, she tried to call me out about my dog having 7 times our bark, and I'm like, hey, I understand that Preston has mutts in them, or quote unquote mutts. I understand that. I'm not naive to that. So if you say 7 times our bark, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Because I can find a mutt in everybody's pedigree, quote unquote mutt in everybody's pedigree. So it doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? And things, motherfuckers was doing what they was doing back then. They still doing it to this day. I mean, you got people still mixing. Like these motherfuckers, they act like they stopped mixing. They didn't. These motherfuckers didn't stop mixing. These motherfuckers are still mixing, still lying. Motherfuckers still hanging pedigrees. It's a big fuck fest, and people act like it's like one person is more innocent than the other. No, all you motherfuckers has got some shit with you. You know what I'm saying? All you motherfuckers got some shit with you, and that's one thing. As I call myself, I call myself the consumer advocate because I ain't tied. You know what I'm saying? I'm not beholden to nobody. But I get once you get all the information, once you start getting this information and the shit behind the scenes and the fuckery and the lies and the motherfuckers, you see things totally different, right? So that's why I'm saying I don't be holding shit. I don't take a hard line on a motherfucking thing, other than be honest. Try to be as honest as possible with yourself and others. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with it, man. So I've learned my lesson. Trust me. I was talking to my one of my counterparts, my friend there, and I was like, brother, I remember we was taking hard lines, and boy, did we bump our head. I remember there was another hard line, right? So our little, sorry about that. I had to take a little intermission call. Damn, what was I talking about? Taking a hard line. Uh, taking a hard line, taking a hard stance. Don't do it. Avoid it. Be, be open to information. Uh, yeah, be open to information. I gotta get this mile in. They might extend it out a little bit. This route's a little more shady than the other route, but oh, Michael Morales, yeah. So that's what I was talking about. Our little, our little lion sack of shit. So when he got I got him his first podcast conversation. But anyway, because I fell for the banana tailpipe. So anyways, so he came in there saying, oh yeah, he's so years ago. He's talking about, oh, I got 7 generations, right? But he wasn't showing anybody his pedigrees, right? Of his dogs. Right? He's like, oh yeah, I got this, I got that. So a friend of mine decided to, buy a couple of his dogs. We had all been drinking the Kool-Aid. We was all falling for the hype. You know what I'm saying? Pit bull, this, that, and the other. He's like, Spanish speaker, I know everything. Oh, okay. I get all the information. No, you don't. But anyways, well, you're from Puerto Rico. Fucking, because you speak Spanish don't mean everybody's fucking with you. But anyway, he came talking this bullshit, talking about he has 7 generations and he had X, Y, and Z. And, you know what I'm saying? He had that real presser. And then come to find out, oh man, it was like one of the greatest. It was like one of the biggest letdowns. I was like, bro, we fell for the banana and the tail. Like we both was on the phone with each other. Like, how the fuck did we fall for this bullshit? And the motherfucker came with the bullshit pedigree. Homeboy bought the dog, even though you know what I'm saying he rocked out with the pedigree and shit. But it wasn't what he thought it was. It wasn't what he thought it was. He was putting his name, he was putting his kennel on dogs that he didn't produce, and there's a lot of fuckery. Right? Dog come from it was bred, you know, his Jack Dempsey was bred by some who knows what. You know what I'm saying? The sire was a Bravo kennel dog. I mean, basically, it's a Bravo kennel type of dog. Nah, it was basically like a Dogo Canario style, which he was so anti Dogo Canario. He was Mr. Oh, I believe in Presta. I believe in Presta, no Dogo. And the Dogo's a more mastiff style of presser, right? Even though they say there's not a difference, but you can tell a physical difference. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole other debate. You know what I'm saying? It was just a name play to try and soften with the name instead of using the whole presser to catch dog after the whole shit in San Francisco, the pressers fucking the chick up and killing her, and you know, what I mean, shit like that. They don't change it, soften up the name, make it more user friendly. But anyways, but you know, some people have the argument of press is different than the Dogo and this, that, and that. So you know, once again, you could take a hard line either way, and then people are gonna have a hard line either way against or for. You know, so hey, you know, just however you want to take that information to make it make sense. But anyways, Michael was so full of hot grits. That boy got exposed, and he got exposed for lying about putting his kennel name on dogs that he didn't produce. And he just doubled down. He doubled down for a long time, you know what I'm saying? And we keep tearing his ass up. Then he ran off of Facebook, and now he hides off on Instagram and YouTube, right? Because he still has people that'll latch on to him. Because you know, he talks like he's, you know, very definitive and very, yeah, I know because I speak Spanish, and he's been in the he's been in the United States for like 50 years, but he acts like he just came from Puerto Rico yesterday. Like, bro, stop, bro. You've been in the United States damn near your whole fucking life, and you keep acting like you barely speak English. Just cut the bullshit. But anyways, so you know, those are the type of individuals you got to be careful of. These motherfuckers that take these hard, you know, the motherfucker like him that, you know, just give poor information, misinformation, and you know, you gotta watch out for that. You know, now this could be a situation where you get some bad information, right, from somebody, and you kind of ran with it. But when you concoct the whole scenario like like Michael did, and blatantly lie about some shit he knew wasn't the truth, now that's some fuckery. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, those are some things you gotta be careful. There's a lot of people, myself included, that talk on these lies and shit like that. And you just gotta go look the information up. You know, anybody think I'm BS? Then go look up the information. You'll see it, or go ask around. Ask some other people. You know, or hit me up, and I'll send you the right person to go ask, and he'll tell you the same thing. Yeah, we all fell for the banana and the tailpipe. Mm-hmm. Then you ask yourself, why? How come the dude ain't in Press the Canario Uncensored anymore? Oh yeah, he got up out of there. Oh yeah. When they duck off of Facebook and run off the IG land and YouTube world, oh yeah. There's a reason why. The motherfucker ducking that smoke. See, because you can hide off in IG land because it's not really that interactive like that. So you can hide off in IG land. You can definitely hide off in YouTube land because motherfuckers don't really be reading the comments like that. So you can hide off in these places. You can act like you're an authority or something like myself right now, right? I'm not like I'm an authority. No, I'm just kidding. But you got to dig in, folks. I'm not saying my truth is all truth and nothing but the truth, but I'm saying I'm basing on my experience with these various individuals, and I know for a fact Michael Morales lied about his pedigree, and he still has Delos Morales on dogs that he didn't create. He fucking just slapped his fucking kennel name on it. He's still rocking out with it. So it is what it is. You know, motherfuckers want to rock with it, they can rock with it. I know he's full of hot grits. I know I went to Florida multiple times. Mr. Yeah, pull up. You can come work my dog. You can come test my dog. I pulled up to Florida multiple times. Every time I get close to the area, no call, no show. I call him up, he don't answer. I call him up, he don't answer. I called him up a whole day. I called him up for 48 hours down there straight. Hit him up. Hey, man, what's up? What's up? I'm in the area. What's up? Holla at me. Ooh, man. This is I had already been talking to him before I even got down to Florida. So I was driving around the United States. I came down from the Carolinas, shit, headed down to Florida. Let him know I was coming down that way. Oh yeah, come check out the dogs and you're gonna see talking all that bullshit, right? Pull up, pull up. So I'm in the area. I'm like, what's up? Cause I had his address. I'm like, what's up? Where you at? I ain't go to their house or nothing. I'm saying I'm in the area. I'm in Florida. I'm in the area. Florida's a big state, even though I was in that particular area where he lives at. Motherfucker like, he didn't answer the phone. He didn't answer the phone. He didn't answer the phone. He waited about 72 hours later. Hey, oh man, sorry man, I was oh man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. His nigga had been talking to me damn near every day. Down there 2 or 3 times a week, this, that, and the other. Yeah, man, when you come down to Florida, man, come test my dog. So then when I get down there, now you want to play like he don't. I said, yeah, okay. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of these cats be hiding shit. You know what I mean? They'll talk that talk. Yeah, if you're in the area, yeah, pull up and come check out my kennel. And then you call them up 3 or 4 times. Hey, man, I'll be down that way, the next 48 hours or so. And then next thing you know, oh, man, sorry about that. I couldn't make it, or I'm busy, or they don't answer the phone, or it'd be some bullshit like that, right? Like, this is after you done talked, after they invited you to come hang out. It wasn't me, man. I said, shit, he invited me to come out. Oh, man, check on my dog. And then I said, oh, how about this? Because he was popping his guns one time. I said, how about we have a little challenge, my dog against your dogs. Your main stud against my stud, right? And we could do whatever type of scenarios, working scenarios, this scenario, whatever you want to do. We could have a little challenge. Oh, yeah, run this down. Okay, so when I'm in Florida, we're gonna see what it do. Get to Florida, Michael Morales, nobody's home. Nobody's home. Of course not. You know what I mean? So we gotta be careful of these cats that just talk that talk, but when it comes time to walk the walk. Right now you get them on the line, he's like, yeah, come on through. If I was right there in Florida, I'd be right on over. No, you come over here and I'm gonna call the police. I'm like, hold on a second, I just want to work the dogs. How about we meet at the park? No, I don't leave the property. Oh, okay. So you don't leave your house, but you got working dogs. The only place you can work the dogs is on his property. So he won't leave it, according to him. You know what I'm saying? He always want to, I don't leave my property. I don't do this, I don't do that. Oh, okay. Because we got a working event coming up in October. Not we, but they got a working event. I'm going to participate in October. And I guarantee it's in Florida. It's in his backyard. I guarantee he won't show up. Why won't he show up? Because he's going to say, oh, you guys, I don't like your decoys. I don't like this. I don't like the area. I don't like the, oh, bro. I don't like the weather. It's in your backyard. I don't like my backyard. I mean, okay. So we got to be careful with these folks that talk that talk. We got to make them walk that walk like I'm doing right now. I'm out here walking that walk. We up to a mile right now. What's that mile? We had almost 3,000 steps. We getting our steps up. So if you're gonna walk that walk, if you're gonna talk that talk, you gotta walk that walk. But motherfuckers will double down on some bad information. And that's a human thing to do. Sometimes we get defensive. And we could double down on some shit. All right. But I ain't doubling down on a motherfucking thing. I'd be like, yeah, I kind of fucked up on that one. Changed my mind on that shit. I believed a lot of shit when I first got into the game. I was believing all kind of shit. I was believing motherfuckers had working dogs, but never showed up, never went to an event. Don't have no accolades, but they got all these working dogs. I'm like, oh, so you ain't got time for that? So then I started knowing, oh, motherfuckers doing a lot of lip service. And then they do this. They'll back tie the dog, find a little bullshit decoy, come do a little agitation work. Now they got a working dog. Oh no, my dog's working dog. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. All right, well cool. Then we have a working event, and 3 people show up. I'm like, how the fuck? Where's all these breeders at? They got all these litters, all these so-called working kennels, and they're producing all these working dogs. But where are their dogs at? Right? Come on, leave that grass alone. I said, where's all the dogs at? Oh, that's strange. So we got working kennels by the goo guys. All these dogs got that. All these people got that fire. When it comes time for the test of fire, let's see what the fire. Let's see if the fire is really hot. They ain't got time. No, we ain't got time today. Oh, you ain't got time today, but you got time to breathe though. See, my motto is, if you ain't got time to work your dog, or to prove your dog, or to test your dog, then you ain't got time to then you ain't got time to breed. I mean, how you do one before the other? Shit. What you gonna tell your potential clients? This dog is, so what you're gonna do is, instead of holding yourself accountable, you'll double down and say, well, I have a working dog in the pedigree. Like, it could be one dog, like, suppose they got this, that, and the other back in the day that actually did some shit. It could be one dog that actually did some shit in the pedigree. Oh no, see this dog right here? Homeboy, there's 50,000 dogs in the pedigree. You picked one dog. Now you're talking about you got a working dog. Come on, it comes from working lines. No, it doesn't come from working lines. Because none of those dogs are properly tested. And agitating a dog with a motherfucker running around agitating in the backyard with a sleeve isn't properly testing the dog. It's not a test really at all. The dog should fire up a little bit. If it has an ounce of human aggression, it should fire up. If it doesn't, then it won't. It'd be like, what the fuck is you doing? Maybe you might have to crack the dog or wake it up and show it that you mean business. But if not, dog don't have no human aggression, they just ain't gonna have no human aggression. It might be a dog, it might be a DA, it might be an animal aggressive dog. So, come on. So, yeah, I would double down. I ain't doubling down. Shouldn't it? How you doing? All right. Good. So yeah, that's why we just out here walking and talking that shit. Yeah, talking that shit. Yeah, man. Don't take a hard line. Keep an open mind. All right, don't take a hard line. Keep an open mind. That's the saying right there. Don't take a hard line. Keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. You ain't gotta worry about it. Come on, man. Don't take a hard line. Keep an open mind. Shit, I don't give a fuck. Come on, let's go. Motherfucker still want to try and shit be cracking me up about dogs. Motherfucker still want to try and mark some shit. Motherfucker, you ain't got nothing left, motherfucker. What you gonna mark something? I'm gonna take a hard line with marking. What's up, fellas? All right. So yeah, beautiful day in the neighborhood. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, it's a little warm out here. We get this walk in. Maybe nice and tired. A little bit tired, but at least it'll be hot. So then he just lay his ass down. Lay his ass down, post up. Definitely a good thing to get out. Let your dog stretch his legs. Let him cook a little bit. You know, you get the tongue out, get the sucking in some of this hot air. You know, a little low impact. No, get your ass over here. A little low impact walk. Yeah, you already peed up and peed and shitted to death. All right, thanks. He wants to go do some more. Come on, man. He's all the drifting and shit. Boy, we want to drift off into the shade. Drift off. Yeah, I don't like getting them out, getting a walk in. Keeping that nice streamlined body. Keeping that streamlined body. Keeping them well conditioned. Nice, that nice taper. You want that nice taper. You know what I'm saying? People get too hard line on fucking weight. Weight shortens up the situation. The bigger the dog, the more weight that motherfucker got on those hips. Sheesh. You know? That's the name of the game. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got a 180-pound dog. Guess what them hips is gone. Yeah, the hips is gonna dip out on you. Hips gonna dip. Yeah. Yeah, hips is gonna dip. That's why you gotta get them hips checked. You know what I mean? Hips checked. OFA certified. That's another thing. People, human beings take hard lines on so many different things. You know what I'm saying? It's like OFA and pin hip. Well, I don't even fuck with pin hip. I don't even fuck with OFA. Yeah, how about just fuck whatever you fuck with? I mean, shit, I don't know. You know, is one better than the other? I don't know. I guess that's for debate. You know what I'm saying? If that's the kind of debate you want to have, then I guess you could take a hard line on it. You can take a hard line on kibble and raw. You can take hard lines on all kind of shit in life. But, you know, me personally, I ain't, damn, that boy's legs be flexing. I got boom, bam. I don't know if y'all can see that quad be like boom, boom, boom. It's hard to see. I don't know if it's hard to see. But that quad be kicking, man. That boy don't be skipping leg day. That's how he flies through the air. That motherfucking quad like, hold on a second. God damn, I got more shit in this. Hold on a second, man. Motherfucker motivated. Motherfucker out here hot. Now he motivated to get back to the house. All right, motherfucker. Yeah, we're gonna get you back. I'll tell that boy to go home right now. Boy, take off running. Right over there. Run straight to the basement. And be like, boom, blam. That motherfucker. He fly down the steps and then he get to the bottom of the steps. That motherfucker don't pass go, don't collect 200. Boom, blam. Flops right on the fucking concrete. That cold ass basement, cool ass basement concrete. Oh, he love that shit. He love that shit. Cause I don't turn on no AC in the crib. Fuck that. Nah, when it's summertime, we gonna be hot, motherfucker, with a fan. We gonna have the fan on. That's about it. Cause before you know it, Colorado's gonna be nice and cold, and then I gotta turn the fucking heat on. So fuck that. We gonna be in that motherfucker with a fan on and shit. So that motherfucker says, fuck that fan. He says, F that, I ain't fooling with the fan. The fan ain't on me. I'm going to the basement, which I don't blame him. And he go lay on that concrete and call it good. He goes and lay on the basement and call it good. Which is smart of him. But, it's definitely a little cooking out here. Come on, puss. Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, you got almost 2 miles in. That's what you call walking and talking. When you're walking and talk. Come on, let's go. When you walk and talk, that's how you get that time. That makes the time go by. That's what makes the time go by. But yeah. Walking and talking. Yeah, but don't overpromise. Don't overpromise. That's another thing too. I talked to when we discussing with my little breeder friends. With my breeder friends, I ain't a breeder yet. One day. With my breeder friends, I said just don't overpromise. If you don't overpromise, guess what? Motherfucker can't say you did, I'm wrong. If you make a whole bunch of claims, oh yeah, this dog guaranteed to be a working dog and it's gonna do such and such and such and such. If the dog don't do such and such and such and such, then you overpromised. And now you're gonna have a disgruntled person. But you can have a disgruntled person in any type of form or fashion. But if you don't overpromise and you have documentation that states I'm not overpromising, but what I'm telling you is that from what I've observed up until the time that the dog has left through various tests that I put the dog through, the dog showed confidence, this, that, the low prey drive, because I tested that using a baby chicken or using the flirt pole. Confident. I took the dog to cooling on. This is hot as a motherfucker. I took the dog to the vet and walked in like it owned the joint. Come on, pussy. I took the dog to Petco. It walked through the big double doors, no problem. It didn't run off. It didn't tuck tail. It motherfucker walked in there like, motherfucker, what's up? Who this? Whose shit is this? You know what I mean? That type of walk. Whose shit is this? You know what I mean? And that's all you can say, right? So through my test, this is what I've observed. This is what I know. So what you do from the time the dog leaves my house to it's grown or whatever, you have to further prepare that dog for life. It's like a parent, right? Just like any parent, you got to prepare that dog, that child for life. And how do you prepare the child or dog for life? You have to give it life experiences. All right, so the more life experiences the dog has, the better, hopefully, supported with good genetics, the dog will become as it gets older. Right? If your dog never leaves the yard, it goes from the kennel to the grass to the back to the kennel, well, then that dog is going to be very limited socially. Right? The temperament is going to be very limited because it hasn't really seen much. So if you throw it a curveball, it's going to cause the system to be like, man, what the fuck? This is like system overload. So the more experience you get it, or get it, and give it, the better the dog overall should be. All right, supported with good genetics. All right, so you want to give it a good fighting chance with some good genetics. But if the sire or the dam has poor genetics, quote unquote, it's a little bit of nervy, quote unquote, it's a little shook up for no reason, then you might have a dog that's a little shaky baky. And then so it's going to take a lot of exposure and a lot of training and a lot of this and a lot of that to try and mask the genetics, right? So that's where, proper information, not over promising, not double downing on things, comes into play. Wording is everything. When you speak definitively, then people are going to hold you to that definite. Right? But if you say the information I received from particular X, Y, and Z, right, you're putting that off on somebody else. And that way, if that information comes back to be not accurate, you say, hey, I was just simply reciting the information I received. You can say I'm just giving y'all the information that I received from these individuals, right? I'm not claiming this to be the holy truth, the truth. So help me God. I'm telling you that the individuals I was with said this, right? So, and that way you can avoid being held totally accountable for certain information. You put that information on the person you got it from. And that way they can say, hey, and they can double down on it, right? So you don't have to take the heat for information that you were given. And that's how I would do shit, because that's how I've been doing shit lately. Because before I was getting information from motherfuckers and then running the information, coming to find out the information was wrong, and I look like a fucking dumbass. So then I was like, nah, let me start doing more research because people once again, the enemies of my enemies are my friends, quote unquote. So I get a lot of information. Or the quote unquote enemies, I really don't have enemies, but I don't think they're enemies. But people that dislike a person for whatever reason, they're always willing to give you some information if they don't like that person to help you with your dislike. Puss. No, come on. Puss. Leave it. Good boy. Good boy, yes. Jesus. Want some water? Get some water. There you go, that's it. That's it. That boy ran in the house and hit the basement. Anyways, that was a good little walk and talk. Moral of the story, keep an open mind. And if you get information from somebody, give them the credit. Because then if it turns out to be not accurate, then you say, man, that's the information I got from these motherfuckers. So always keep an open mind. Don't get locked. Don't get locked into one position. Don't get locked into one position. Before I go, I remember I was hardline like black nationalist, like Malcolm X, motherfucking Black Panther Party. I was pro black this, pro black that. Then I started bouncing and doing shit. I started realizing I was getting more death threats and more this, that, and the other from fellow black folks, and I was like, oh man, that's some bullshit. I thought we supposed to love each other. I'm like, man, I was like a fallacy. I was like, oh man, we done been through too much. You know, we got too much anger towards each other. And so I had to give up a hard line stance. I remember I was like anti-white chick. Nah, I ain't fuck with no white chicks. And I ain't having kids by white women. I was like, oh man. So, hey, don't ever say never. And if you're gonna take a hard stance, make sure you make sure you willing to stand by that. Matter of fact, speaking of a hard stance, I remember Jamie Foxx. Somebody had just posted on IG. Jamie Foxx like, yeah, I ain't fucking with no more white women. I'm done with the white women. And then they just spotted him somewhere in LA doing something with a car full of white chicks. Yeah. But so yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had a hard line. Jamie Foxx had a hard line against white women. Next thing you know, he's standing with a whole car full of white women. And then the motherfuckers call him out. So anyways, I'm out. That was a good walk and talk. I'm back to the crib. Check this out. Like, comment, and subscribe. I guess that's what you're supposed to do. So make sure y'all do that when you check it out. If you check it out, when you check it out. Moral of the story, keep an open mind. Moral of the story, if somebody gives you some information, just say where you got the information from. And that way, it puts the information on that person. So if the information comes out to be not accurate, you say, hey, that's the source I got it from. Okay, y'all take it up with that person. And that way you're not held accountable for the information. Because technically you didn't get the information from yourself, you got it from somewhere. So you want to cite your source. That's why historians cite sources so that you can give credit to where you got the information from. Right? So if it comes out that it was wrong, you say, hey, man, I did my research, I got it from this person, that person's research is wrong. And then you need to go back and do your own research, some more research, and then you need to fix that research or make a correction. And that's why they have edits, right? That's why you have an edit, so you can edit the mistake, right? Why do you have an edit? Why did somebody came up with editing, right? So it's okay to edit what you say. It's okay to edit what you do. Right? You do something wrong, try and make it right. You say something that's not accurate, just fix it. Hey, I made a mistake. I wasn't paying attention to the pedigree like that. I just looked at the sire and the dam. I really didn't dive all the way into it. So I liked what I saw. Come to find out, this is in the background, right? It don't mean I need to change my. It doesn't necessarily mean to change my view, but I'm saying in this particular dog, will I breed the dog again? Probably not, because it's going to go against what my stance is, right? So you can either fuck it up and keep going, or you can fuck it up and just say, hey, you know what? I fucked up on that one. People want their money back, they want a discount, whatever it is, or just never breed that dog again. I have friends that got white and liver dogs. Guess what? He bred the dog, but he never bred it to where he would get white and liver. He's not gonna continue going down the path of fuckery. Maybe one day he might decide to do it, but he bought it. He liked the dogs in the pedigree. He bred it so that it wouldn't throw that particular color, white, heavy white. And he's moved on with the shit. So, those are different ways you can handle making certain decisions. You make a decision, you ride with it, or you can just make sure it doesn't happen, or just continue that, right? So you just pull that dog from your lineup and say, shit, okay, yeah, I'm gonna continue down a certain path. I just pull that dog from my lineup, and then I ain't got to worry about it. It's only one dog, right? So you pull the freaking line up and then be done with it. But that's why you really got to dig in. It's like you got to private investigate. You got to really dig into the pedigrees. Then you got to dig in to make sure that the pedigree is actually the pedigree, because the pedigree could be hung. So, so it's wild, man. The Presa Canaro is a wild situation. So anybody new or anybody that gets into this motherfucking breed, do not come in here thinking that there's definites. Like this is definite this and this is definite that, because you're definitely gonna be wrong. If anybody's saying there's definite this or definite that, they're definitely gonna be wrong. It's just the bottom line. And I was one of those definites, and I was definitely wrong. And so was a lot of other my guys that I associated and friends that in the gang. They were definite too, and we were all definitely wrong. So stay away from the definites. Stay away from the definites. Stay with the well. It could be, there's potentially this or possibly that, or you know, this is potentially there, and these people also potentially do this and that. So just keep an open mind. Just keep an open mind. And that way, motherfuckers can't say shit. I'm like, hey, man, you know, you might be right. You might be right. Who really knows? At the end of the day, who really knows? Only person knows is people that was doing the whatever they was doing behind the scenes. So, anyways, that's my little talk, my walk and talk. And now it's time to hit the gym. Keep this body fit and right and tight. Because just in case I got to get down tonight, okay? We got Nelly at the club tonight. Legendary Nelly, which is cool. I like the old school legends. Shit that folks that we grew up on. So, anyway, I'm going to get to it. And y'all have a good day, man.